All right, welcome to the next Friday that we're calling, by the way. I don't think I ever told you this. We're calling Ask the Wizard.
I saw that online. I was a little embarrassed by that.
I knew you would.
As a matter of fact,
I didn't mention it.
The thing that I'm the most troubled by, I say, when you look at the number of companies, it's like over 100 companies.
Yeah.
Pay Ryan like $60,000 a year to meet with him as a group, not individually, as a freaking group.
In a large group.
A huge auditorium full of people. So they get to spend 2 days with Ryan twice a year. Yeah. So for 4 lousy days of listening to him say things, they'll spend $60,000.
That's true.
And if those people were ever told, Ryan's doing a whole hour with us every week, that you can just log on, they would just go nuts.
That's why I didn't put Ryan's name on this title.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They would bury us with questions for online marketing. Mm-hmm. But our people don't know who he is.
It's my favorite thing in the world.
What I'm saying, they have no idea.
It's my favorite
He's
thing.
Sitting here. It's like every time we have a class at the academy and Ryan's going to teach it,
he's not allowed to tell his people.
He doesn't get to tell his people because we would have like traffic jams of people wanting to come to that class. And it's like, no, this isn't for you people. This is for our people.
That's right.
But our people go, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Well, and I know for a fact that strangers want to stab you and sell you drugs. I watched a number of videos about that growing up as a child.
That's true.
And so stranger danger, I'm happy to... I don't need people wearing my skin, so this is great. I'll do in general.
Wearing my skin.
I'll work for wine.
I got really dark.
I've
really
seen
fast.
me do.
Yeah. And
it must be the wine.
Yeah, we poured this for Ryan so it'd be properly breathed.
Brother.
Yep. So I just wanted to share this because I thought it was funny. Mm-hmm. Somebody sent me that. I think it was Manly Miller sent me that.
Of course it would.
And I said, and that's clever. Now, do you remember Keith Killen?
Yeah.
All right. So Keith Killen had a question a week or two ago. Mm-hmm. Now, Keith, I have a gift for you. A very valuable, generous gift after I yell at you a while. So please understand, I like you. I did some serious looking into because you had a follow-up question. And this is me yelling at Keith, right?
Okay.
Stick around for the candy center.
Yeah, stick around.
Once you get to it.
Don't be offended. Now, see, this is Keith's place in Menominee, Michigan.
All right.
Now, he never told us that, right? But he was talking about, remember, when he phrased his question, the question was, hey, me and the city council, the Chamber of Commerce, we're all here in our little town, buy local. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, gee, that never works. Not once in the history of the world has it ever worked.
Right.
But I don't want to pop his bubble, and so what I tried to do is steer it like, well, you know what, if you're going to do that, at least explain to people what it means and why it matters.
Right.
Because whenever people say, buy local, the average person hasn't really thought through what that means. But if you give them step by step, when you give this guy some money, he spends it with that guy, and that guy now has money to spend with that guy, and that guy has money to spend with this guy, and the money, everybody, you can have. America can go into a depression. But if a little community was really careful, we bring money into town, we don't let it leave.
It's like the Amish.
Exactly. We just spend it among ourselves.
Right,
You can have an enormously robust local economy, like a little island of wealth in a sea of poverty, if everybody actually understood how it works. But when people say, buy local, they don't ever explain how to do that and why it works. They just say, buy local, and they think that everybody already knows. Now, that's the curse of knowledge.
Look, I saw a billboard. Have you seen this billboard? It's actually on I think 1826. It's a Geico billboard that says, we're local. And I'm like, look, if Geico's local, there's no such thing anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not done yelling. Keith, you remember I said I like you, right? And I have a gift. So here's what I did. I looked at Keith and I'm going, this is a little bigger deal than I imagined.
Yeah, I was thinking of like the one over by a district kitchen.
Yeah,
like a little corner shop.
Little single bay kind of.
Yeah, that's the size of PetSmart in our area.
And so anyway, I went online and see the second part of his question was, we need to get the
rally
people
the community
shopping. No, we need to get people shopping with Amazon and Chewy.
Oh.
They need to shop with us.
Okay, yeah.
We have a website, and I'm going, well.
And we can deliver.
Exactly. Well, no, what happened was he didn't give me all the information. Oh, did I say I have a gift? I have 2 gifts.
Huh?
One of those is an ad I wrote at no charge. that I'm going to give to Keith.
That is a real gift.
Because
Yeah.
I want to completely retract what I said. I'm pulling it back now.
Okay.
Drop the
Because you
buy
like
local
all
stuff. Drop the buy local stuff.
We
That's
never,
not-
in fairness, we never liked it to begin with.
That's
No, we
not
didn't.
That's not your best play. It's not your best play. But I only went there because I didn't want to say disheartening things. But now, seriously.
I know, I get it.
Well, now I'm excited because in his follow-up question, he gave me way better information.
Okay.
And so I'm going, okay, so he can legitimately become a meaningful retailer online. And so, Mighty Pet, I went to mightypet.com. And what did I find?
No.
Keith doesn't own mightypet.com.
No.
Somebody is sitting on that, obviously holding Keith hostage.
Yeah.
And so I decided, now this is where it gets funny. This is where you're the expert. So up here it says,
Inquire.
want to grow your business on mightypet.com? Click here to inquire about acquiring this domain. So I clicked it. And guess what it says?
How much the domain?
You have to swear that you don't claim any legal right to this domain. And if you're inquiring for somebody else, you have to certify that you're authorized to state on their behalf that neither they nor you have any legal right to this domain. Here's the
So
problem.
to even enter negotiations, you have to say, I have no legal right to this.
Exactly.
I just
they
want
won't even take your name. And you know what that tells me?
It's trademarked by somebody else, and they.
What I'm saying is, if you wanted to say, oh, you know, the internet's going to be a big thing, so I'm going to get Xerox.com, and I'm going to get IBM.com, and I'm going to get Coca-Cola.com.
Yeah.
Well, IBM and Xerox and Coca-Cola go, yeah, those are registered trade names, bitch.
Yeah.
That's ours now.
You're super sued.
If you or anybody else that ever tries to use that, we're going to sue you so that your great grandchildren are paying it off. You know, it's like, and so I'm sitting there going, so they're acknowledging that they don't have the legal right to use this.
Right.
They're just trying to, what's the word when you're sticking somebody up for something? Extortion.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're just trying to extort our friend Keith. So, follow-up question that Keith asked, now that I'm done yelling.
Okay. To convert online customers from Chewy and Amazon, you recommend that we demonstrate why people would want to care about spending their money local. Keeping money local will be our strategy. In addition to being local, family-owned, and in the community, we're easy to do business with.
It's like, no, we now retract the buy local thing. Just don't go there. Just don't. That's not your best play. Now, second question.
Clients can phone, text, email, instant message, and use local online ordering. The biggest seller in our store is a brand that online retailers cannot sell. What?
He doesn't tell us what that brand is.
No, he doesn't. We're more convenient with free same-day delivery.
Free same day. Did you hear free same day?
Yeah.
Free same day.
That's all you need.
That's all I was
Yeah.
And I'm going, so Keith, you didn't
local.
tell us this the first time.
Yeah.
And now I'm yelling. I promised to yell. Now you got the
You're
yell.
watching a secondary uncovery happen
Yes,
right in
yes,
front
yes.
of you. Yeah.
Yes, I said to Penny, I said, people do this to me so often. They give me partial information and ask for a ruling, and I'm going, then when you dig a little and you find out the rest of the information, you're going, everything I told them was stupid because they didn't give me all the information.
Buried the lead.
Yes. So, now,
When you buy pet food online, you get it tomorrow at best, but when you buy it from Mighty Pet, you get it today. Ask your
you're
pet.
not doing it right.
Oh, wait.
Now listen, when you buy pet food online, you get it tomorrow at best. When you buy it from Mighty Pet, you get it today.
There we go.
Ask your pet. They'll say today, definitely today. Food is better when you get it today. So there you have it. Mighty Pet, the choice of pets everywhere. And because we appreciate your pet's vote of confidence, we're giving you and your pet free delivery. Order it today, get it today. Ask your pet what he or she thinks about that. Ask your pet what he or she thinks about that. Order online from petsarking.com and we'll bring it right to your front door today. You can also order by email, text, or phone. Free delivery today. Petsarking.com. What? Did your pet just say petsarking.com? Yes, that's definitely what I heard. Petsarking.com. Now, the only thing that sucks about this ad is the domain name.
Oh, I know. Mighty Pet.
So
much
my
better.
first ad is a gift. Pause the video, transcribe that, I give it to you. If you don't run that on the radio, I'll put a cobra in your mailbox.
No.
And
Clearly,
he'll buy it from Mighty Pet.
Right.
clearly you hate
Well done.
money, hate puppies, want the terrorists to win.
That's true. Clearly. Yeah.
All right.
That's just.
Did I mention 2 gifts?
I heard too. This is the first.
What would be better when you think about it than mightypet.com? What does not rhyme with pet? Com. Therefore, mightypet.net.
MightyPet.net.
MightyPet.
I like it.
I bought mightypet.net, and if you will email Daniel at wizardacademy.org. Org.
Yep.
At Daniel at wizardacademy.org, we will transfer to you. Because I didn't want to say it publicly
Yeah.
while it was
Before-
still
while it was
available.
still
So no,
floating
I
around,
just
yeah.
bought the damn thing, giving it to you for free, asking no reimbursement. I want you to own mightypet.net because mightypet.net is pretty easy to remember.
It is.
Mightypet.net. Now, did I mention that when you record this ad, you lose petsarking.com and you go to mightypet.net? And then the continuing radio campaign and your online copy and all of your Instagram and Pinterest crap, all of those things and your Facebook stuff are talking about the pet network. And at mightypet.net, and you have all of these hysterical little conversations between pets about, we've introduced here that your pets can talk, right?
Right.
And so the ads that follow this up are the conversations among the pets about mightypet.net. And so it's a network of pets, and guess who the spokespersons are at mightypet.net? It's the pets. You know why? Because people believe their pets are people. People believe their pets are members of the family. People believe they understand their pets and their pets kind of can communicate. And I'm going, pets that can talk, we're the only people that believe pets can talk. And we have mightypet.net because pets need their own network. So mightypet.net is motivated, screw the guy with .com. We don't need .com, we need mightypet.net. Can you say amen, somebody?
Amen.
Hey.
Woo!
This
Now-
$200 million per year local business began its rise to power with free same-day delivery.
Now, everybody knows Mattress Mac in
Yes,
Houston.
Houston.
Now listen, I know Mattress Mac, we're friends.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah. And so, here's what's interesting. So when very first time Jim came out here maybe 20 years ago, he told me his backstory. Now I'm still talking about Keith. Free same-day delivery? Keith can do free same-day delivery. Free same-day delivery. No online company can do same-day delivery.
No. Amazon's trying. They're trying with certain items, but they're like, it might
Do you
be
know
available.
anybody
It only
really
never is.
that ever got
Never
something
is.
One
same
time
day?
I got a power cord same day.
Well,
It's the
whoopee.
only time it's ever happened.
And your pet didn't care.
My pet didn't care at all. and
If
it
you would have
didn't
gotten
cost.
some pet food,
The power cord wasn't talking.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, so Jim McInville, also known as Mattress Mac, and right here in Wikipedia, the store does over $200 million a year. I said $200 million a year. Do you realize that's like $4 million a week? That's damn near like $1 million a day.
And in furniture, where the margins are like 150 billion%.
Oh, and mattresses, where it's even more than that.
Yeah.
So here's my point. Jim, according to the story he told me, lost everything in the 80s. He owns 11 fitness centers. And when fitness centers went kaput in the 80s, he had nothing. He said, I had $5,000 in the whole world. That's all I was left with. My empire had collapsed around me. I had $5,000, had a pickup truck, and had a flatbed trailer. I took my $5,000 and my pickup truck and my flatbed trailer, and I drove it to the Dallas Furniture Market, which in Dallas, 3.5 hours from here, you can get furniture from all these manufacturers. And so still wrapped in the plastic, he stacks all this furniture, $5,000 worth, straps it down on his flatbed, parks alongside the interstate highway right in the middle of Houston. There's a sign that basically says, buy this furniture, I'll follow you home with it. And so,
amazing.
So what happens is, I mean this. So, this is the truth. At Mattress, well, it's actually called Gallery Furniture
Right.
in Houston. So, Jim said, this is a deal. Now, wait a minute. You guys understand what inventory turn is? Inventory turn is like table turn in a restaurant. So let's say we have $1 million worth of inventory. If you do a one-time turn in a year, you sell that $1 million worth of inventory or the financial equivalent thereof. Instead of selling everything one time, you didn't necessarily do that. You sold $1 million worth of stuff one time and made a markup, whatever your markup is. Well, now, here's the deal. Costco and Sam's Club get a 12-time inventory turn. The financial value of the whole warehouse, they sell every month. So they turn over that number of dollars 12 times a year. Well, you can make a real small profit margin if you're making it 12 times a year on the same investment.
Right.
So we made it this month, reinvested, made it against next month, and so the same money keeps making you this profit every month, right? Instead of having once a year. So a 12-time inventory turn is considered extraordinary. Now, when Jim and I talked most recently, he was getting a 27-time inventory turn.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's unheard of.
That's basically just in time
Exactly.
for furniture.
Now, you're doing $200 million a year, and you're only sitting on stuff for less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever there for more than 2 weeks.
Right.
He doesn't do special orders. If you see it, we have it. If you don't see us, don't ask us about ordering it because we don't do that.
Do you have more in the back? This is the back.
This is the back.
Welcome to the back.
And so everyday stuff's coming in, and when it's all gone, it's gone. And no, we're not going to order you a different color. That's the color we have. Do you like that color or not? Because if you don't like that color, we'll get something over here. We got a lot of things. And so no special orders. Now every other furniture store's doing special order, we'll customize it for you, and it'll be there in about 41 weeks.
Yeah, no kidding. That's exactly what it feels like.
And so he's going, no. You buy it to this very day. If you bought it today, it's in your home tonight. You have it today. Before you go to bed, his commitment to that is astounding.
Yeah.
You cannot buy something from him and not have it in your house today. It's impossible. And so that thing that happened, what he learned was, gee, when you tell people, if you buy this, I'm following you home with it, he'd follow them home, unload what they bought, drive back next to the side of the road, park again, put out the sign, and the sign said, I'll follow you home. Buy some stuff. And people go, that's a really good deal. And guess what he learned? You don't have to have everything. See what I got on the trailer? That's what I got.
Yep.
Do you want this or do you not want this? And suddenly they can live with that color. At this price, they can live with that color.
Yep.
That's not the style we really wanted, but it's such a great deal. And so he said, crap. He sold it in like hours. And this, I take all the profit he makes, goes back to Dallas, buys another trailer load of stuff. It wasn't very long before he has a little friend. We're talking one location. Did I say one location, $200 million a year? Keith, here's my point. Free same-day delivery has been proven to work. Guess what has not been proven to work? Buy local. Buy local just doesn't. So
You also, with same-day delivery, if you got the trucks, got a whole bunch of driving billboards all over the place. Because if you live in Houston, you couldn't avoid the gallery furniture truck. So.
Right.
All right, for the messages that we create, would you mention Amazon Chewy by name or just refer to national online retailers?
Well, obviously, in the ad that I created as a gift for my friend Keith, I didn't mention anybody.
Right.
I just said, when you order online, you get it tomorrow at best. Everybody's going, yeah, most of the time it's not even tomorrow, it's 2 days. When you order from us, you get it today.
That's it.
When?
There is no comparison. You don't have to mention them because there's no comparison. Then Coke and Pepsi, you're apples and oranges.
Right. So here's the thing. A lot of people have this question a lot of the time.
Do you mention your competitor?
Bam. The Lanham Act. The Lanham Act in 1946 is still in force. It protects trademarks and service marks and protects against false advertising. It helps prevent other companies or individuals from using the logo, the design, the symbol, the word, the name of the company, the phrase. See, the Lanham Act is probably what makes it illegal for the little extortionist bitch who's sitting on mightypet.com.
Right.
If he had any brains, he'd have got mightypet.net, which is a way better name for mightypet.net, but he didn't. So screw him. The reason he was insisting you certify that you don't have any legal claim to this is because he knows people can have legal claim to their own damn name. The only way around the Lanham Act is no law in any state in the U.S. prohibits you from using your own name. Now, if your name is Daniel McDonald, you can have a place called McDonald's Hamburgers. Now, if you have anything that looks remotely like arches, you're going down.
Yeah.
They've got the golden arcs.
We use an asterisk.
McDowell's.
Yeah.
So anything,
Big
but
Mick.
they cannot keep you from calling it McDonald's Hamburgers.
Coming to America.
Now, if you don't have the
Great
name
movie.
McDonald, and even if you have the name McDonald, you have to make it crystal clear there's no confusion. You have to make sure that nothing you do is anything like what they do. Okay? The Lanham Act gives you you can protect your name, you can protect phrases that identify who you are, or any other mark. Now, anybody that wants to look into this more needs to read this paragraph. Now, Daniel will read it to you, but now, see what the headline says? Beyond brand X, using another's trademark in your own advertising. That is this phrase to search because the law firm who has the best explanation of the Lanham Act about what you can and cannot do, that's how you find it on YouTube, on Google. Put in Beyond Brand X dash using another's trademark in your own advertising. It'll pull up this law firm download thing. You read it. It's a very long thing. We're just going to read the first paragraph.
It is perfectly acceptable and within the bounds of the law to use another's trademark in advertising provided certain standards are met. The advertisement must be truthful. The use of another trademark must not give a false impression of connection, approval, or sponsorship by the owner of the other mark. Further, the use must not tarnish the reputation of the mark
You
being
cannot
used.
tarnish the reputation.
So no, Keith, you can't use their name saying we're better than them.
Now, while this test may sound simple, its application has confounded lawyers and advertising executives. So what I'm saying is, read the whole thing because this is confusing as hell. It's unbelievably confusing. And what it basically says is, sure, you can do that, unless we sue your eyeballs out of your sockets.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you're never safe with the Lanham Act.
Yeah.
And so while it opens by saying, sure, you can, of course you can, if you do it right. Doing it right is
No one really knows what the definition is.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm probably the only person at this table who's been sued by Amazon. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Congratulations.
I wouldn't. They've got lawyers. They're good.
They're real good. Hey, Roy, thank you so much for letting us ask questions. I really appreciate it. I breed and sell French bulldogs. Huh. We have seen an increase in the emails and calls wanting a puppy. Our current litter as all reserved before the puppies. Oh, okay, so the current litter is all reserved before they were even born. What's the best response to my clients so that they make a $500 deposit on a future litter?
Now,
Interesting.
here's the good news. Now, Tricia, unlike Keith,
Gave us all the info.
gave us a lot of info.
Yeah.
And so the first thing she did is she said, here's what I currently say. First email.
Good evening, Sherry. Thank you so much for your email. All of our puppies are spoken for at this time in Nellie's litter. Are you looking for a particular color? We have more planned breeding this year to Magnolia, Joy and Eliza, a blue, Pied, which is a past puppy of Hinniker and Melody. Our puppies are sold DNA health tested through embark wormed, microchipped, and vaccinated by a veterinarian. Our puppies start at $3,600 for standard colors. My Siri just decided I was asking her a question. My phone is on airplane mode, by the way.
Yeah.
We only sell pets.
Siri hears everything now.
She hears everything. We only sell pets. Here are some videos of their past litters. Oh, so they're saying, that's a key phrase. So our family got into breeding show dogs at one point. And so what she's saying is, we are not interested in breeding dogs for breeding dogs or breeding dogs for show. We're interested in selling a family a pet.
All right, so here's the thing. It says, please let me know if you have any more questions. Now, you will notice right here, the next slide, I've got highlighted, we only sell pets.
Yeah.
The curse of knowledge. I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
Did you know what it meant?
No, I mean, I was thinking, what else would you be selling if not this?
Exactly.
Is it
So
food?
an insider,
I just told you.
an insider knows what it means. I'm saying, don't assume your customers are insiders and know what the hell it means to only sell pets.
Even Blue Pied. It's like, I want a dog.
Listen.
Done. Like, maybe I know I want a French bulldog. Maybe I know.
Now see, because I was raised with horses, what they call a paint
Yeah.
is a pied.
Oh, okay. The modeled color scheme.
That's what I'm saying. It's spotted.
Yeah.
It has big blotches on it. It's like a Holstein cow.
Right.
You know, and so we only sell pets. I was going to ask about that because you have to explain things to customers because they're not in the dog business.
Yeah.
They don't know what it means to only sell pets. It's like, well, what else would you use a dog for? Lunch meat? It's like,
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
we're not done.
Okay.
We're not done. If they respond by telling us the color they prefer,
Wow,
here's
she's
my reply.
really giving us everything.
Yeah, go.
Eliza and Riddick will be having puppies next. Their puppies will be due at the end of summer. Magnolia and Joy will be having puppies in the fall. Our puppies are sold, it's the same thing that she said before. Our puppies start at $3,600. The blues are $45,000 to $6,000. Woo. We have two options. We can email you whenever we confirm pregnancy or have puppies available. The second option is to place a deposit for pick of litter. We have one deposit for pick
of Eliza's litter.
Yeah. If you do not see the perfect puppy in Eliza's litter, you deposit. It's forwarded to the next litter. Okay. So it's non-refundable, but if you don't, each litter you don't get the one you want, you can pass it forward.
What I'm saying is, now she's given us the information.
Yeah.
All she needs is better language.
Yeah.
Because you're giving people too many options and too much information.
I was thinking that is
having a hard
not
time
how
keeping
Mattress Mac would sell puppies.
No.
Yeah.
Right. So here's what happens is, I took the first line, Eliza and Riddick will be having puppies next, right? Now, you ready?
Yeah.
Combine the first and second letters, because you're sending the first letter saying, nope, we don't have any puppies right now, blah, 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 blah. If you have any more questions, please contact us. And they're not contacting you.
Oh, I'll move.
No, I'm going, no.
I'm out.
I
would love to know what is the response rate to that first one.
Well, it's bad.
I bet it's bad.
What I'm saying is, we only want to send one email,
Yeah.
and we don't want to say, call if you have questions. We want to ask them questions that they feel obligated to respond to.
Yep.
All right? So, combine the first and second letters to create a much more powerful single email response to inquiries. And I give this to Tricia. You know why? Because I gave Keith two things.
That's true.
And I can only think of one to give Tricia.
No domain name for Tricia?
She doesn't need one.
Do we know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got a good domain name.
All right.
Yeah.
You chose brilliantly.
No. Say hi, Cherie.
Oh, hi, Sherry.
There you go.
chose brilliantly when you decided on a French Bulldog. Sadly, all of our current litter was sold before they were born. Good news, Eliza and Riddick will be having puppies at the end of summer, and their puppies are always adorable, have the perfect temperament. A $500 non-refundable deposit will put you on the list for a puppy from Elegant Eliza and Rowdy Riddick. See photo.
Gotta love that combo.
Your puppy will be DNA health tested through embark, wormed, microchipped, and vaccinated by a veterinarian. Standard colors start at $3,600. Merles and blues are $4,500 to $6,000. If you don't find the perfect puppy in Eliza's litter, your deposit will be forwarded to the next litter. Male or female? Do you have a preferred color? Do you have a name in mind? Yours, Tricia.
So we say you chose brilliant, we chose a French Bulldog, you made the right choice. Then when you say, sadly, all of our current litter was sold before they were born. What that says is, these are high demand puppies. We obviously have the ones everybody wants, because if you wait until they're born, you're just screwed. You're not going to get one. That's what it says. Good news. Eliza and Riddick will be having puppies at the end of summer, and their puppies are always adorable and have the perfect temperament. These are the best parents. That's what it says, without saying it. And then it says, $500 non-refundable deposit, put you on the list from a puppy from Elegant, Eliza, and Rowdy Riddick. Now, Elegant, Eliza, and Rowdy Riddick. You will see what you're expecting when you watch the video. Because I went online. I found Eliza and Riddick on YouTube. We will now meet Eliza and Riddick, and you will see that Eliza is elegant and Riddick is rowdy. Now, we can't ask them for a $500 deposit without telling them what the full price is.
Yeah.
Right? Then we close with the questions, male or female? Do you have a preferred color? Do you have a name in mind?
Make it personal.
We're wanting them, we get the email from us saying, yeah, we don't have any puppies right now, but we'll at the end of the summer. Did you have a name in mind? What male or female? What color were you looking for? And they're always sold before they're born.
Yep.
And so this is obviously who you want to buy from, because ours were always sold before they're born.
Yep.
See what I mean?
That's definitely Riddick, isn't it? Yeah.
Super
I
rowdy.
see that.
Riddick's about to get nuts. Yeah, see there? Let's do this thing.
Watch what Eliza does. She's playing with flowers.
the color.
Now, root.
That's it.
Yeah. You will notice that during the video, Daniel commented on the boots. Well done. Don't show the people, show the dogs. But the boots are fun.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to notice the boots.
Yeah.
It was nicely framed. Now, they present Riddick and Eliza as a couple, which is brilliant. And their kids are always adorable and well behaved. And these are the ones you want. Okay? Meeting the parents allows you to imagine the puppy. Now, the 3 links that Tricia sends with her emails show puppies that are no longer for sale.
Right.
And what I'm saying
Like,
is,
but I want
don't
that
show
one.
them puppies they can't have.
Right.
Allow them to imagine their
Do you have any
puppy.
more puppies like that in the back? No, we don't. The lesson was given to us by Mattress Mac. All right? We have this puppy, except we don't.
I'm convinced the only thing you ever want to tell anybody about is, the only thing you ever want to tell somebody about in an email is the litter that's coming up if it has unreserved puppies. It says our puppies always sell out before they're born, so if you wait until the puppy's born, you're going to have to settle for a crappy puppy from a crappy breeder. But if you want the cool puppies breeded to be pets instead of like test tubes, thank you. Then you need to buy from us. You know, it's like we're not just creating puppy factories; we're creating pets. And so the couple that's coming up that's going to have the next litter where you can still get in are these. Let me introduce you to this happy family. Let me introduce you to the parents. And you only show them one video. It's the video of the parents. See what I mean? Let them imagine their puppy, show them the video of the parents, give them one video to watch, then ask 3 questions so that you've left, they reached out to you, you gave them some bad news and some good news, and the good news was more than the bad news. This is definitely the puppy you want. You came to the right place.
And here's the details of how you get it.
And here's the details of how to get it. And so the parents are going to be these 2 dogs. You don't have multiple dogs to choose from. These are the 2 parents of the next litter. Now, she has several couples of dogs, but no. Only show them the one on the upcoming litter.
That's irrelevant. And
exactly.
it's good news. Our upcoming litter is not yet fully allocated.
Now, if the next litter is fully allocated, tell them about the one that isn't fully allocated.
Good news, the next litter that isn't fully allocated isn't fully allocated.
And these are the parents. You show them who the parents are, and this is why this is the parent. This is why you want dogs from these parents. That's what you want. And they go, oh, those are such adorable dogs. I think she's right. We'll just wait and give them $500, and you know the full purchase price now.
All right, living the series, getting less out of it. Roy's gentle edits last month on our Paul's Dad campaign. Oh, this is David, isn't it? Were an excellent reminder of how hard brevity hits. Proud to report moving forward with that series. Now, in the spirit of reinvention, I'd like to see what you think of the attached ad. For the other viewers, Larry is our established fictional accountant that calls and interrupts some of Paul's ads, usually giving him a healthy dose of crap, saying what most of us are thinking. We've actually seen an uptick in furniture sales last couple of weeks. Because everyone's stuck at home sitting on their furniture.
I bought the hell out of some furniture.
And realizing they hate it.
Oh my gosh. I bought all the furniture.
Did you buy furniture last week?
Yes, I bought furniture. We're redoing large chunks of our house. I mean, it's getting real.
Because you're having to live in it now. All the time.
Here's why that's funny. As soon as we're done recording. I'm going to go home to help Penny unbox the furniture that's on our front porch.
Exactly.
We too bought furniture last week. Why? There's nothing else to do.
And you can at least use it. It's in your own home.
And you know what? I would have bought it from a local company if they would have delivered it same day.
No joke. No.
Same day.
Illinois is under a stay-at-home order through the end of May, so I'm thinking I can get this produced the next couple of weeks and run it as restrictions loosen. Whether sentiment is still cautious at that time and people stay home or they begin to venture, I think it will still work. Dave Weiss.
Okay, so this is the ad. Now, wait a minute. You be Paul, you be Larry.
All right.
Send Sherman's a picture of your room. Ring,
Ring, ring, ring.
Hey, Larry.
So I've been told I decorate like an accountant.
I don't know what that means.
So cost effective and lacking personality.
Well, we can help.
I'd rather shop for my futon.
Then just upload a pic of your room at shermansnow.com and our experts will put a free plan together.
But can we stick with cheap and sprinkle in some light personality?
It'll be a reflection of you.
That should be perfect then.
Later, Larry.
Now, from my futon.
You have to understand.
That sad bastard.
These character diamonds are deeply established. Everybody knows the Paul character. He owns the store. They know the Larry character. He's the imaginary accountant.
He's cheap.
Yeah.
Who's cheap and uptight and twitchy.
Apparently owns a futon.
And nothing
Loves
else.
that futon.
Okay.
Because it's both a couch and a bed.
Look,
If
it was
know how
fine in
futons
college.
work,
Why would it not be fine now?
it's amazing.
Now, what I'm saying is, because Daniel and I for sure know the characters, we've heard a lot of these ads from Sherman's in Peoria, Illinois. Sherman's. And staggeringly successful. And this is somebody that never says buy local, but Sherman's in Peoria, Illinois sells more appliances than the 2 Best Buy locations combined and the 2 Home Depot locations combined and Sears and I forget who else. Everybody else basically that sells appliances in Peoria, Illinois, sells combined, they sell less than Sherman's. And Sherman's is local, but he does the kinds of stuff that we were talking to Keith about. It's just kind of like, oh no. Paul Sherman is so brilliant. He said, you know what? You can't get appliances repaired anymore. Like if your dishwasher or something, nobody repairs appliances. They don't repair refrigerators, they don't repair dishwashers. He goes, I'm going to solve that problem. He said, I'm actually going to recruit and train and staff for appliance repairs. And so there is a $100 fee. So if we come out to repair your appliance, it's going to cost you $100 for us to come out and figure out what's wrong. And if you have us repair it, then the $100 is applied toward the repair. And if you decide not to have it repaired, you can apply the $100 that you owe us for the repair toward the purchase of a replacement.
That's brilliant.
Yep.
And so what happens is he gets tons and tons and tons of calls for repairs. Sometimes they repair it. And other times the customer goes, screw it. So I owe you $100 for the repair, but I could get a $100 credit towards the purchase of something at Sherman's. Yeah. Well, now they don't have a $100 credit anywhere else.
Yeah. Got $100
And of course, it's just genius. What I'm saying is figuring out what can the bigger companies not do, or what can't they do, or what won't they do. Do what they can't, do what they won't. And it's the same thing with Keith. Guess what? Nobody can deliver same day. And so when you pound the hell out of same day, and then there's a whole campaign about the brand that no online company sells. Now maybe they don't allow their name to be mentioned. I don't know. Or maybe it spoils in shipment. I don't know. He didn't tell us why. Nobody can sell that brand. No online company can sell that brand, but it's his top selling brand. There's a whole campaign there with the pets talking about that brand on mightypet.net.
Some brands don't allow their stuff to be sold in online stores because of the way that their agreements they have with retailers.
Cool.
So, or you can only do it if you have we bought a retail store one time just so we could sell it in our online store because they would only sell little trick, little hack there.
This is well written.
You have to have the money. It's brilliantly well written. What I'm saying is, the reason I was pointing this out is because David Weiss has made Sherman's. Of course, Paul was involved. Paul's brilliant. But you can become overwhelmingly dominant. You can kick the butts of the big multi-billion-dollar national companies if you just figure out what they can't do or won't do. And then do that. Do something the customer actually cares about that the national companies either can't do, like same-day delivery, or won't do. Now, of course it's a good ad, but he sent that to us. I thought we'd share it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was well read.
Yeah,
if you guys think it was well read,
I think it's very well read.
It was well read.
And the call to action there of uploading a pic of your room, which anybody can do now, that's another thing that a lot of folks won't do. They're not going to do that design consult. They say they will, but it's always crap, right? And so this one, it's upload a pic of your room. We'll put a free plan together. Something to do when you're stuck at home looking at your ugly furniture.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we were telling Tricia. Give them something simple to respond. They owe you now the answers to 3 questions: male or female. Do you have a name picked out, and do you have a preferred color?
Can I give Tricia a gift, by the way?
Yes.
I would like to give Trisha a gift, going back. Follow-up email. So a follow-up, because now you're only sending the one.
Right.
If you don't get a response, the best, highest converting email format that we have in a follow-up is either an "Are you still" or a "Have you yet?" So
Are you still looking for a puppy?
Looking for a puppy? Question mark. And by the way you screw this up is to write anything other than that in the email. You respond to the email where they emailed you, right? So now you're replying to theirs. So in the subject line they see RE, something they wrote, right? So you're simply continuing a conversation that they began with an "Are you still looking for a puppy?" or "Have you yet?" Have you got a French Bulldog yet?
Have you yet found a puppy?
And that is the entirety of the email. Know the thing, because if there's nothing else said, they're, to your point earlier, almost obligated to reply, or they just made it weird.
And there you have it. From the guy who gets millions of dollars from people every year just to sit in a room with a huge crowd of people and hear him answer questions.
Billions. It's not true, but it sounds better.
Millions?
Billions.
Is it billions?
No. But it sounds better.
great.
I know it's millions.
The billions are so much cooler.
The very first time I kind of knew for the first time that Ryan was kind of a big deal, he had been here several times. When I found out from someone else that 4,000 people drove, they either drove or flew, most of them flew, I'm sure, to San Diego. 4,000 people paid $1,000 each. Now, by my math, that's $4 million to hear him speak for a day. So 4,000 people go to San Diego to hear him talk. And I'm going, he comes and hangs out with us for free. And he has classes for like a dozen people for like 2-day classes. And I'm going, we should do a better job of telling people who he is.
Or not. Because again, strangers.
Yeah, stranger danger.
Will work for one.
Hey, I've seen your process for picking the attributes of a person or a company's character diamond. I think it's brilliant. When it comes to using character diamonds and building an ad campaign that involves multiple spokespeople interacting, how you decide or pick 2 character diamonds to interact with each other. Do the individual diamonds have to be different? So this is like Larry and Paul. Or can they be sort of similar? How do you pair characters? Gary Morgan.
Yeah. So Gary, it's a really good question. It's very perceptive. I want to point out a couple things. The Monday morning memo for May the 4th, which they probably have by the time they see this. We mention Ryan and some advice he gave me one time. And that advice is relevant to your question because I didn't really come up with character diamonds. My friend David Freeman came up with character diamonds, and he's super famous. He's been in India for 7 years, after being in Japan for several years, after being in Hollywood for several years, making astounding amounts of money. Fox, remember, Fox in India reaches 3 times more people than it reaches in America. Fox Television. He's creating new TV shows for Fox in India. And he created the whole character diamond technology. But it's very, very, very big. And you have to be pretty brilliant and think about it pretty hard to understand it. And so the very first time I tried to share some of the stuff that David taught me, Ryan was there. And I didn't know who Ryan really was at that time, but he said, you need to dumb that down. You need to create a template and make it real simple and easy to understand. And I said, well, that destroys the majesty and the beauty of it. And he goes, well, not really. He says, right now, too few people are going to understand what you're saying. Go ahead and dumb it down. Give them training wheels. Then after they learn to ride the bike, you can take off the training wheels. They can go beyond the boundaries of the thing. And so number one, character diamonds belong to David Freeman, and the way that I teach them is because of Ryan. Now, most people have either seen that or they'll find, I did an ASBI video a few weeks ago with Fancy Dan about character diamonds. So is it out yet, Dan?
Oh yeah.
It's out.
It should be. It's on the list yet.
Which we
it's not
acknowledge
out.
is a
We have
redneck
it.
version of the real one.
No one has seen it, and no one's going to see it for a while.
Simplified version.
Yeah.
Because we haven't launched that whole ad thing yet.
Oh, so it's recorded.
It's recorded.
But Daniel has not released it yet.
No, we haven't even launched the Ad Masters class
We
yet.
would love for you to have it. But
That's a part of the Ad Masters
Daniel-
No,
class.
it's not part of the Ad Masters class.
Oh, it isn't? What
That
is
was
this
meant
from?
to be just a free teaser.
I never heard about that.
Free teaser.
We'd
This is
love
the very first time I've heard any mention of
I did
this.
3 free teasers. And now
That's good to know. Thanks,
No,
Dan.
so
We wanted you to have it.
I just asked.
Daniel said no.
wait a minute.
Daniel said no.
The ones we shot in the gym
Yes.
were teasers.
Yes.
All of those were teasers.
They're done.
Now,
Never heard of that.
send those out. So here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Okay. You'll all see
And
them
one
at
of them is
some
about
point.
character diamonds. One of them is about character diamonds. Now the deal is those are just free little teasers, right?
Not
Now,
if Daniel has his way.
The first session has been produced.
Ryan, I like you.
And so the first session is completely finished. The second session is completely finished. And both are brilliant, by the way. Even though I haven't seen them, I was there when they were recorded.
Yeah, you happen to be an integral part of the process.
You're in good company. Nobody else has seen him either.
That's true, and no one ever will.
Back to character diamonds. Back to character diamonds. I'm going to answer the question as asked, which is rare. And it's more or less the same way I answered in the video that Daniel has not yet released.
Did we
Never
mention
gonna.
that Daniel hadn't released it?
Yes. And so number one, Gary,
We could never be
you have
in
to
a
know your
class
characters
together.
so well that they're predictable to you. When you create characters, you have to believe in these characters as entities. You have to convince yourself of these characters. It's like, if anybody's ever been in a rabbit hole, I know Indy Beagle. Now he's an imaginary sidekick. It's a dog that can talk. But I know him so well. I know exactly how Indy would react to anything. It's not my alter ego. He does not have my personality. He has a totally different personality than me, but it's very consistent. And so I never need to know what Indy would say. I instantly know what Indy Beagle would say because I understand his personality. So you have to do that. The question becomes easy to solve if you create characters that live in your mind. If they truly live in your mind, then you have one of them say something kind of interesting. By the way, did I say it's going to be a great show? It's because I have examples.
Oh.
I'm going to give examples.
Ah.
And then wait and you listen. Now this sounds insane, I know. But if you know the character and the character is predictable to you, you just listen to what the character says in return. Or if there's several characters in the scene, you need to know all the characters. I'm currently working on a screenplay with 13 principal characters.
Jeez.
And I have
Like a
to
Woodhouse
have
novel.
I have to have 13 very distinct personalities in my mind. Because in any moment, I know who would speak up. I know who would speak up and I know what they would say. Because that's exactly what that butthead would say. Does that make sense? And then this person would say this. That's what would happen. This would be the first person to speak up, and here's what they would say, and the other person would say this, and here's how it would go. And you can write pages and pages and pages just listening to what those characters are saying because you know these characters so well. And so when we create a character diamond, the first person who has to believe in these characters, if the reader, the listener, the viewer is ever going to believe in these characters, you have to believe in them first. And until you believe in them, you're not ready to write. You're not ready to write until you know these characters and you know what they would say. And then you literally have somebody say something and you don't know where this is headed. You really don't. The examples that I'm going to give you, I didn't know where it was headed. I literally just said, all right, here's what somebody says. Now, because I have characters in my mind, I just wrote down about 5 or 6 answers of what each of those characters would say in answer to that statement. Does that make sense? And you will know the personality of each character by how they respond to the statement. Now, number 4, keep in mind that a character must respond to only one part of what was said. This is the key. This is the same thing that makes improvisational comedy possible. You don't have to answer the question as asked. You tag onto one word or one idea in the question. Okay? Now, God, I wish it would rain. That's what a person says. God, I wish it would rain. Well, I'm glad you finally realized that I am, in fact, God. Now, you already understand the personality of this person, don't you?
Yeah.
God, I wish it would rain. Wishes should be addressed to starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. Prayer, not wishes, is what one sends to God. Different personality, wouldn't you say?
Totally different person.
Different personality. God, I wish it would rain. You know, Everyone talks about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. I stole that one.
That's so pretentious.
No, listen. I think it was like Will Rogers or somebody who said that.
Yeah.
But most people don't know that. I can borrow that. It still works. God, I wish it would rain. If you're going to wish for something, especially if you're going to wish out loud, I think you should wish for more than just rain.
Shooting low, baby.
God, I wish it would rain. Yesterday, you were wishing to find a parking spot at the grocery store. The day before that, you wished you were taller. Do you know what I wish? Do you? And now aren't you anxious to find out where this guy is headed? That's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yesterday, you were wishing to find a parking spot at the grocery store. The day before that, you wished you were taller. Do you know what I wish? Do you know what? Do you know what I wish? And you're going, God, I want this conversation to continue. Now you're writing. But what is the key? You have to know these characters and you have to believe in these characters. They have to be predictable to you before you try to convince the reader of the reality of these characters.
But to the point of characters being, the necessity of characters being different, what none of the characters said was, yep.
Me too.
Because that's boring.
We sure need rain.
And you're right, it's dry out there.
Right. I mean, that's not an interesting dialogue. And the benefit that you have when you're writing is you can, to Elmore Leonard quote, cut out the boring bits, even if it happens to be boring bits of dialogue. And I think if you have two people that constantly agree with one another, that's not particularly interesting dialogue. So if they are the same type of person, there needs to be some aspect of them where, where there's disagreement, because without conflict, you don't have interest.
Okay, now, can you imagine what Keith Killen could do if he had like 8 different pets? All kinds of pets.
Yeah, the iguana always says one thing.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone has a personality.
The cat always gives 0 fucks.
Okay, listen. Imagine Winnie the Pooh. Is Winnie the Pooh's personality consistent?
Very.
How about Eeyore? How about Rabbit? Rabbit is the accountant in the Sherman's ad.
Yep.
Okay?
Piglet and
there's Piglet, and Piglet is very consistent, and Piglet kind of stutters, and Owl. Yeah, so we have examples of pets with very distinctive, very predictable,
Garfield.
very consistent personalities. And what I'm saying is we love to be entertained by imaginary pets that can talk. Did I mention mightypet.net? My gift.
Oh, Bert Lord, not a question. Oh yeah, that's right, because he's doing things. I typed out and printed small. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Bert, I love you. I typed out and printed small people complain and put it next to my computer monitor. My son Brian came in and took one look and said, I don't complain. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then he pointed to my sign. Brian's a small person. I laughed. My son is learning lessons my father taught. When I was a kid, it was my job to shovel the driveway when it started to snow. If you went out right away, you would have to shovel the driveway more often. But it would be easy. If you waited, the weight of the snow would make it way harder. This extra pushing seemed to push complaints out of my body louder and louder until eventually my father came out and said, you can complain or you can sing, but no matter what, you're shoveling snow. That lesson stuck with me until today. I guess I've passed it on to my son. Thanks, Dad. Bert Lord, father, husband, man who sat with kings, fought beside Phaedrus, broke bread and sweat with calloused hands and left blood and tears upon many a land.
That sounds like a toast.
Don't you just want to hang out with this guy?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Now, I mentioned last Friday that Bert was a nuclear submarine physicist, blah, blah, blah. So there's Bert and his wife, Batty. And that was back, Daniel, when what was originally the Toad and Ostrich
My
Pub.
office, yeah.
And then it wasn't even finished with that. If you look through the porthole in the doorway, you'll see it's not even finished yet.
There's no ceiling.
That's when it was still under construction.
I mean, there's beams, but there's no cross.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that's when it's still under construction.
Wow.
And so that's Bert and Batty.
And there's still the batting on the windows they come shipped with.
Yeah. And so the windows are still covered with the plastic. And so that's Bert and Batty. That would be how many years ago?
Oh, I mean,
at least 10.
10.
About 10 years ago, yeah. But anyway, their son Brian, who was literally not born yet. And to my knowledge, not even conceived. He wasn't even a future in the future litter. So This is a thing I got. Look, it's dated yesterday. Now today is
Right.
May 1st. Am I right? We're
It is
recording
indeed.
this on May 1st?
Yes, we are.
Okay, we're recording this on Friday, May 1st. This came in yesterday. San Francisco jewelry store. What does it say?
Says, I never have bought anything from them, but the latest series of commercials show they're investing in the good of their community. Good, positive messages and interesting stories, not any attempt to capitalize on the current situation. Sounds crazy, but I enjoy the ads. Now don't get me started on the cars for kids spots. Ugh.
Evidently, Cards for Kids is screwing up in San Francisco.
Yeah.
This is one of the top 4 markets in America. San Francisco.
What is cars for kids?
I don't know. It's evidently something in San Francisco.
No, it's all over. I could sing the jingle right now if you wanted me to.
Oh, really?
Well,
yeah.
evidently
please
this
don't.
guy doesn't like it.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Google it. It's very unlikable, but
Is
it's
it?
pretty effective.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the point is, we decided since the stores in San Francisco aren't open, we'll just make friends. We'll just tell interesting stories about times gone by and values and beliefs and not ask anybody to buy anything. And the client agreed with that because they're brilliant.
Do I know this client? Does his son happen to work for me?
Yes,
Okay. Yes.
as a matter of fact.
Brilliant man.
He is. No, they're all a very smart family. So here's the thing. We're going to wrap up the show. I'm going to show you the 5 scripts this guy's is referring to, right? So you'll be Lane.
All right.
No. You'll be Ren,
Okay.
because Ren is a son, and you employ one of the other sons.
Okay.
So you'll be Ren. Ren is short for Lawrence, and you'll be Lane.
All right.
You ready?
Done.
And that, by the way, this is Shreve and Company,
Beautiful
the original
building, by the
Shreve
way.
and Company in downtown. It's at Union Square, downtown San Francisco. We're no longer in that building because we outgrew it. But that literally is a historic landmark. The state of California will not let you change anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not the name carved into the marble, nothing. You can't change anything about this building.
49ers walked in there with like pieces of gold shavings to buy
This is like
watches.
This is
and
like 40
pocket
something
watches.
years after Thomas Jefferson sent
Yeah.
Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
This was built when downtown San Francisco had dirt roads.
Yeah.
And this is a beautiful, it's just a beautiful jewelry store.
I'm Lane Schiffman of Shreve and Company.
And I'm his son, Ren.
101 years ago, my grandfather Arnold
They call him Mr. A,
was thrust into the family business when his father
the owner of the store.
got sick and couldn't work.
Thanks for staying healthy, Dad. I'd hate to suddenly be in charge.
It wasn't long before Granddad built a brand new store with money he borrowed from the bank.
And then what happened?
3 years later, that store burned to the ground when one of the stores next to it caught on fire.
Did the insurance cover it?
There was no insurance.
He was in a tough spot. How'd he make it?
The bank believed in his integrity, so they loaned him money to rebuild the store.
So things turned out okay.
That's why I'm telling this story, Ren. The whole world is in a tough spot right now, but I believe in us, all of us. And I know things are going to turn out okay.
Things are going to be okay?
Things are going to be okay.
Thanks, Dad.
Shreve and Company, here today, here tomorrow, and you will be too.
Whew, got a little goosebumpy there.
I've been sharing stories with you about my grandfather,
The one they call Mr. A.
but my dad
My grandfather, Tony,
was pretty amazing too.
he was an all-American swimmer in 1957.
And he missed qualifying for the 1960 Olympics by 1/100th of a second.
But Grandpa Tony wouldn't let the rest of us swim competitively.
He said he regretted the things he missed out on because of his constant practicing.
Do you have any regrets, Dad?
I do.
Really? What?
When Mr. A asked me to go fishing with him each spring and each fall, I always said I would do it next time.
Didn't he set the Canadian national record for catching an Atlantic salmon on a fly?
32.4 pounds. He was 92 years old, and I could have been there.
Is that why you make sure my siblings and me are always included in everything you do?
Well, that's one of the reasons.
Is there another one?
The biggest reason is I think you're all amazing.
Well, you're better than average yourself.
Shreve and Company since 1852. The bell chimed and a dusty pair of overalls walked in.
The farmer cleaned his boots on the mat and removed his hat,
He looked around,
and obviously felt out of place.
but my father Tony greeted him like a VIP.
As soon as the farmer mentioned his name,
Tony knew who exactly he was and gestured for me to join him.
it was a teachable moment.
The man's wife had been in the store 2 years earlier, but Tony remembered exactly what she admired most.
But how?
Tony was far more interested in people than jewelry.
Was that what he was trying to teach you during this teachable moment?
Yes, I think it was.
Well, Dad, you'll be proud to know that I've always known the jewelry business isn't about jewelry at all, but about people.
Did Tony teach you that?
No, Dad, you did.
You're sweet to say that.
Well, I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true.
You're going to be a wonderful jeweler.
Shreve and Company, luxury timepieces, fine designers, and flawless diamonds.
It was 1928. My grandfather
The one they call Mr. A.
was running the family jewelry store because his father,
Simon,
had gotten seriously ill. But now Simon was better and was back in the store.
Mr. A felt strongly that every customer should get the best price.
No matter how old they were.
No matter how they were dressed.
And no matter how much money they had.
Every customer got the same price.
But now Simon was back in the store.
And he gave a tough negotiating customer a lower price.
When his son heard about it,
The one they called Mr. A.
he handed his father the keys to the store and said, if different people get different prices, I can't work here.
And then he went to a bar and started drinking.
That night, his mother,
My great-great-grandmother,
brought him back those keys and said,
that's never going to happen again.
everyone gets the best price at Shreve and Company.
Everyone. And that means you.
You don't need to wait for a sale to get the best price at Shreve.
We believe every customer
Should get the best price.
every day.
Shreve and Company.
Now,
I'd like to point out that we're really good at reading dialogue.
you are, yeah, you're remarkable.
We should do
And
radio.
they had,
we got a career in radio.
And they had they didn't know they were reading this cold. They did not see this in advance. So there's one more ad and then we're done.
It
That's
suggests,
that's called in the industry a cold table read.
Cold table
I just
read?
wanted to help you out there.
suggests we could also
Weren't
lie
sure.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Now,
Wait, what?
This next one's going to be tricky because the last ad, there's Ren,
Right.
and then three brothers.
All right.
So you're doing Ren, you're doing Lane.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do Vance and Arnold.
Okay.
So Vance and Arnold are two different brothers, but you do.
I'm still Ren.
I'm still laying.
So I'm going to do Vance and Arnold.
Okay.
You ready?
Do you have different voices?
Whoa, he's trying to one-up us by doing two different characters when we were
So
only
listen,
having to do one.
so we've been talking about past generations, and these are in order, by the way. These are in
Right.
order.
Yep.
So now we're talking about current generation of ownership.
Yep.
This is 5 generations.
Mm-hmm.
5 generations. And so the current leadership team, of whom Ren is the 5th generation.
Mm-hmm.
Ren and Kylie and the guy that works for you.
Yep.
Okay.
My grandfather Tony had 3 sons.
I'm Lane.
I'm Vance, the diamond buyer, and I'm Arnold. I keep these other 2 in line.
Tell me what you learned from my grandfather Tony.
The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Always stand by your word. Treat every customer the way you'd like to be treated.
Tell me what you learned from my great-grandfather, Mr. A.
Always give people the true price, not an inflated one.
Always sell the best quality because that's what people want. Treat every customer the way you'd like to be treated.
Vance, I think Arnold has the best memory of all of us.
Lane, I think you're right.
Tell me what you want the next generation to always remember.
Every person has a unique gift that needs to be nurtured.
It's important to keep balance in your life. Treat every customer the way you'd like to be treated.
Arnold, you're a really good big brother.
Yeah, Arnold, you really are. You're just now realizing that after all these years? Shreve and Company.
Since 1852.
1852. Now these guys, one of the most famous jewelry stores in the United States. If there's like certain special things at some ultra astoundingly super rare watch company that their watches start at like hundreds of thousands of dollars. If they're going to do something special in the U.S., they're only going to do it at like 2 locations in the whole U.S. One of those will be Shreve in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And so the point is, right up there with the stores on Fifth Avenue, Shreve is right there.
Yep.
And so they've been around since the beginning of time, and they sell all the finest stuff in the world. And I've been in there like on a Tuesday afternoon, and people are walking out with stuff they bought for hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
And I'm just going, whoa, this is like a whole new level. And so whenever you're hearing this kind of stuff, and that's where you live, and you know what this store means, you know what it represents. You listen to the owners talk about previous generations and crap, and the store burning down, and hardships and problems, and the 3 brothers bantering and giving each other crap. And you feel like, crap, I kind of know these guys. These are just like regular guys. And they've had the same kind of problems that I've had and my people have had, and they're just like us. And they survived and they overcame it and things are okay. And right now they're not trying to sell us anything. They're just yucking it up and talking about the old days. And it's working. It's working. And what I'm saying is very few business owners understand the power of personality. Everybody has a personality. Most people are afraid to reveal it because they believe that horse shit about features and benefits. Mm-hmm. Features and benefits is what you go to if you don't know what you're doing or if you really have nothing to say. Features and benefits appeal only to a person who's in the highly intellectual frame of mind. Now, logic plays a part in every decision, but it isn't logic that attracts people to you. You use logic second, win the heart, and the mind will follow. Until you've won the heart, logic doesn't really matter unless a person is fearful. If a person is in pain, if a person is deeply mistrustful, and when I say they're in pain, they're out of money. They have a need and they have very limited resources, or if they're just deeply distrustful, then they're going to make sure nobody screws them. Okay, they're always going to find the low-cost provider, and they're always going to get screwed by the low-cost provider, who's going to promise more than he or she can deliver. But the people who go, you know what, I'm just going to call the people I really kind of feel connected to, the ones I really like, the name I think of first and feel the best about. That's the only thing I do. That's my entire career. My entire career has been, I reject anybody who's going to be the low-cost provider and sell at a tiny little markup and just beat everybody on price. You can never win. You can't win with that business model, not long term. But if you find the people who say, you know what, I'm just going to do things that nobody else is willing to do. I'm going to deliver. You bought it today, you get it today. That takes an extraordinary commitment, extraordinary. And if you're going to be that kind of company, I'm going to do stuff nobody else can do or will do. I'm just going to do that kind of stuff for the customer. I'm going to make them like me. I'm going to make them trust me. And the kings in local business are the people that everybody knows about, everybody feels good about, everybody likes, and everybody trusts. And the challengers are trying to deliver something similar but at a lower price. And the challengers never win. They attract bottom feeders, coupon clippers, grave robbers, and twitchy little bastards who are never, ever going to be happy. They're always going to feel like, I didn't get my money's worth, even if you're losing money trying to serve them. And I'm going, don't attract those people. Never be the low-cost provider. I've said everything I want to say. You need to say things now.
Nah, I think we leave it at that.
I've been talking about how smart you are, and I didn't let you talk.
I think that you're right. Basic beginner marketers argue about it's the 1-inch drill bit, right? So if I'm selling drill bits, do I sell? They'll say don't sell the drill bit, sell the 1-inch hole. If what you can do instead is learn to rail against the bastard that created the need for the hole, or if you can learn to celebrate the opportunity to utilize the 1-inch hole, then you are going to win over selling 1-inch drill bits or 1-inch holes. And so that is the difference between extraordinary marketing and ordinary marketing.
What you're describing is context and personality. And whenever we were talking earlier about context, every statement has a context. Every statement has something that preceded it. Every rebuttal, anytime you're writing dialogue between two characters, it is the flow of the conversation that matters. And you only have to tag on to one part of it. A person can say blah, 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 blah. Well, out of all those blahs, you only have to tag on to one of them to respond. You don't have to answer the question comprehensively. You don't have to address everything they said. You just grab hold of one thing they said and move the conversation forward. The next person is only going to grab onto one thing you said and move the conversation forward. And now the conversation isn't even talking about what that person said 10 seconds ago.
But it is more, what you're saying is you're sacrificing information for entertainment, which is always a worthy sacrifice to make.
And not just entertainment.
Yeah.
It's believability.
Yeah.
Because whenever you try to write dialogue or interaction between characters, and it doesn't reflect what you know to be the way conversations actually sound, then it sounds like ad speak. This is ad speak. These people are, it's like, no person would ever say that.
Yeah.
How do people know that no person would ever say what that person just said? Because you've been listening to real conversations your whole freaking life. That's how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you know the authentic from the phony. And what I'm saying is when you're going to write authentic, dialogue, banter, personality, entertainment, if you're going to write that, you have to become deeply familiar with the personalities in the ads. And that is job one. It isn't a science, it's an art, and you have to really invest yourself into hearing these voices in your head and understanding exactly what they would say and where it's coming from.
Otherwise, you write a monologue, but voiced by multiple people.
Say that again.
I said, otherwise, you write a monologue, but voiced by multiple people.
And there's only one personality, and it's like watching the same person play ping pong with themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm done. Are you done?
too.
Are you done?
Good work, team.
We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.